Welcome, everyone, to Finding Life. My name is Jeff, and we're here to help you find life, enjoy life, and win in life. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm very excited to get into episode number 153. And the title today is Keys to Not Tear Up Your Life. Keys to Not Tear Up Your Life. Proverbs chapter 14. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1 says this: The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. And if I can go into, let's see here. The NIV says this: A wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. Tears hers down. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about keys to not tear up your life. And so we see here that, first of all, wisdom builds. Wisdom builds. 1 Corinthians 8 verse 1 says this: Love edifies or builds. Love edifies or builds. The word edify means to build, like as in an edifice. Builds. Love builds. So how do we build our life? How do we build our home? How do we build our family? How do we build our business? How do we build our church? By love. Love builds. Wisdom builds. How does wisdom build? Wisdom builds with love. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 8 says this: Love never fails. Now that's interesting. Okay. It did not say that we will always get the results we want. Love never fails, but sometimes we determine whether love failed or whether love succeeded by the results or the feedback that we get from others, or whether we got the result that we want. But we need to understand that it did not say that love succeeds because we get the result we want. You know, sometimes you may walk in love with someone, but they don't reciprocate. They don't respond back. When the Bible tells us to forgive, it doesn't matter whether they receive our forgiveness or whether they forgive us or whether they come first. Love never fails. Love never fails. So, for example, what am I talking about? John chapter 3, verse 16 says this: For God so loved the world. God loved. Love never fails. He loved the world so much. For God so loved the world that whosoever would believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Yet what? Yet hell is full of people that refuse to receive God's love. Does that mean love failed? No, love never fails. See, God provided the answer, and a number of people decided to reject the answer, reject God, reject His love, but love still provided the answer. You see, don't determine whether love failed or whether love succeeded by the response of others. Love never fails. Love never fails. It always positions us to succeed. Success is not guaranteed, but love will always position us for success. In other words, if we don't walk in love, we will fail. But if we walk in love, we will be positioned for success. We will position ourselves for success whether other people get in line or not. That's their choice. So we cannot determine and we can't make choices for others, but we can make a choice for ourselves. And so we walk in love. Love never fails. We position ourselves for success. Love never fails. So love builds and love never tears down. Love builds and love never tears down. So now, 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 and 8 in the Amplified Classic says this. I'm personalizing what it says, what love is. Love is. So I'm personalizing it and saying I am. Because the love of God has been shed abroad in our heart. We're loved children of a love of God. When we're born again, the love of God has been shed abroad in our heart. So when love is patient and kind, then we can say, I am patient. I endure long and patient and kind. I'm never envious or bowl over with jealousy. I'm not boastful or vainglorious, and I do not display myself haughtily. I'm not conceited, arrogant, or inflated with pride. I'm not rude, unmannerly, and I do not act unbecomingly. I do not insist on my own rights or my own way, for I'm not self-seeking. I'm not touchy, fretful, or resentful. I take no account of an evil done to me, and I pay no attention to a suffered wrong. I do not rejoice in injustice or unrighteousness, but I rejoice when right and truth prevails. I bear up under anything and everything that comes my way. I'm ever ready to believe the best of every person. My hopes are fadeless under all circumstances, and I endure everything without weakening. I never fail. Why? Because love never fails, never fades out, or becomes obsolete, or comes to an end. So, until next time, God bless. Remember, walk in love. Love builds, and love never fails.